gauge how hard they need to push themselves in training, because after all, you can't train one way and expect to race another way. And more riders trying to bridge that gap, trying to get into the first significant break of the day. Fraser Birmingham from the Black Peloton team, sponsored by Placemakers in the blue and white, doing a nice job of coming through and taking his turn on the front. And good to see the Black Peloton boys out here. They're very much about bringing awareness to men's prostate cancer. So great to have teams out here doing good things for the community. But boy, a group of young riders trying to bridge the gap, make this group of 4 riders a significant break of 7 or 8. And the perfect storm has formed. This is significant. The question is, can they now work together effectively, get themselves at the bottom of French Pass and manage to stay together over the top? And remember, the peloton will be hot in pursuit, and it is led very much by the Benchmark Homes team, which includes Daniel Barry, James Early, Leon Hextall and William Bowman. They are riding in the orange and white colours, and a few more riders just getting shotgunned off the back there. That is very, very tough in sort of windy conditions. Looking like a men's pursuit team up front. This is good riding. Sharing the workload, facing the wind. And the way the dynamics of a bunch work is the riders at the front pull the riders behind, and the riders in behind push the riders at the front. Gordon McCauley always pushes a big gear. He has a much lower cadence pedal turnover than what we're seeing from the boys from Back Peloton, who have a much higher turnover of the legs, and that historically means they're probably very good hill climbers. Not a lot of room for the faint-hearted, not big gaps there between the front wheel and the back wheel, particularly when they're pushing speeds above 50 kilometres an hour, but they're very experienced bike riders, and it's all about just a bit of a feel, a natural intuition, and that comes through experience. And Patrick Bevan still sending a message to the rest of the riders. I'm feeling strong today, guys. And some riders will enjoy just coming to the front, particularly if they're feeling a little bit flat. They just feel a bit more empowered, and it can just boost the old nervous system up. And the Benchmark Homes team in the orange and white on the front of the Chase Peloton still doing the work. They don't have a rider in the break, and they are one of the significant trade teams here in New Zealand. And already it's significant just to see the advantage a small group of 6 or 7 riders have. They're coming through these corners a lot quicker than this large peloton, and that is the advantage they do have. And this group still doesn't seem to have a lot of urgency in it. It's still bunched together, unlike the team time trial we were seeing by our group of breakaway riders. More urgency coming now, but it's still not that well organised. And Patrick Bevan, doesn't he look strong at the front end of this men's race? Simon Funnigan from Rotorua taking up some of the work. As we approach French Pass, around about 3 to 4 kilometres, incredibly tough. And Gordon McCauley, he still has the eyewear on, which means he's relatively comfortable, but there is not a lot of talking going on here. From a seated position to a standing position, doing anything they can to try and just alleviate some of the hurt. As we make our way up this very tough climb, affectionately known as French Pass, we'll see more and more of the riders just beginning to fall off the back. Patrick Bevan, what a wonderful talent, just 19 years of age. He's got wonderful sprint on the flat, and historically that means you're not a great climber. Well, he's demonstrating today that he is the complete bike rider. McCauley doing everything he can to hold that wheel, making sure he stays in the slipstream. They'll be getting some information from the lead vehicles, exactly what the gap is back to the peloton. A nice smooth pedal cadence, nice and balanced in the upper body, not too much movement, head nicely positioned. And we can see that peloton in the background. Now here's an opportunity for a couple of riders to launch themselves and see if they can get across to the break. But Patrick Bevan almost just starting to ride away with this race. He's out to 20 to 30 metres. I'm sure he will not want to go over the top by himself though. He realises they still have approximately sort of 70 kilometres to go, and he'll want a few riders to ride with him. Well, the Can girls doing their best impressions to try and at least put a smile back on the face of some of the riders as they do come over the crest of this very tough climb. Just another one of the initiatives here by the event directors. I'm not sure that Gordon McCauley's overly impressed though. I think he's just relieved to get down the other side. And Michael Torkler into that little group now, the winner of the Tour of Wellington in 2010. And here come the chase group just 20 seconds back over the top of the climb, including Roman van Uden, Mike Northey and Matthew Gorter. And also a look at Wesley Goff, a member of that New Zealand pursuit team, a wonderful rider from Waipukurau. At this point, it's just about trying to get over the top, an opportunity maybe to get onto the drink bottle, get a bit of nutrition in, and just try and suck some of the oxygen, get yourself organised. And our first look at our elite women today in the REV Classic. A small field but a classy field. Catherine Cheatley out on Wanganui doing what she does best. She rode the road race at the Beijing Olympic Games, also rode on the track. And just out to her right is the New Zealand Women's Road Racing Champion, and that is Rushley Buchanan out of Te Awamutu. She will know these roads very, very well indeed. And just sitting behind Catherine Cheatley is Serena Sheridan out of the Hawke's Bay. Tony Bradshaw just tucked in on her back wheel. She was a member of the Commonwealth Games team to Melbourne in 2006. And Catherine Cheatley just dancing on those pedals. Serena Sheridan hanging tough. Is this the first significant break we've seen in our women's race? You can just see by the fact the leg turnover's not that high just how steep this climb is. It's about trying to stay nice and relaxed. And as the girls come over the top, they're probably wondering where the guys are doing the can-can. That hill has hurt them. Breathing through their eyelids is the best way of describing it. And Tony Bradshaw, the defending women's champion, looking comfortable there, just sitting on the wheel of the other two riders. Halfway through the 2010 Perry Foundation REV Classic. It is a great race developing in the women, an absolute stunner in the men's. Back soon with more.